Nebana dijifara bili makado. Dabu yana mili makado. Ishona mwapo niswa. Waya sena.
Hello everyone, ndi Millicent Chwera chiskawo makado. Ndi mudhuru wa macheru. Macheru bava mulima. I just want to move this a bit. Great. Okay, this is better. Right. Okay. So welcome everyone. Welcome and to those that are new here, no tanganedza. No tanganedza. Please do subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button, because obviously there's something that you heard about Millicent and the content that I always do here. So obviously you love the content, so why don't you just subscribe? I mean, it's free to subscribe. It's like 100% free. And to my returning subscribers, I always speak about things that people don't want to speak about because it's Yashonisa or whatever the case may be, but I'm willing to speak about things that I've learned from my grandparents. My grandmother from my dad's side, who was a Sangoma, my grandmother from my mom's side, who was a Christian. So I know that I grew up, there was a video that I forgot to say that I'm an actress, I'm a financial planner, I'm a baker. But obviously, because you've watched all my videos, you already know Millicent is an actress, right? A South African actress. And I also run a social media advertising company. For those who want my help, if you need a marketing manager in your company, call me. If you need a social media manager, call me, guys. Call me. I need a job. Anyway, there was a video that I spoke about that when I spoke about whether I believe in ancestors or not. And in that video, I spoke about how my grandmother used to Upasa, we call it Upasa. Upasa is a way of speaking to your ancestors, right? And I used to see my grandmother do that, and I try to do that. So today I want, because I know I've seen Upasa throughout my life, her speaking to ancestors, and I've just realized that a lot of people do Phahla, but they don't see results. And my grandmother saw results, and I'm like, what could be wrong with what people are doing with regards to Phahla? Because you go to a traditional healer and they tell you, okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing, go home, go Phahla, but they don't explain much. What exactly is Phahla? What are you supposed to be doing? Because we do a lot of mistakes when we come home because we don't really know. Most of us are Christians, and at that time you were just told, go and Phahla. They give you something to Phahla. Either they give you something Phahla, or they say light a candle, or they say you can use African beer, or you can use water. Now, with my grandmother, she used African beer. If she didn't have African beer, she would use water and mix with maize meal. It becomes African beer. Just tap water, mix it with African beer. No, mix it with maize meal. Maize meal that you cook up with, it becomes beer. Now, these are the mistakes that people make when they are coming to Phahla. I know that Upasa, according to what I saw with my grandmother, is done very early in the morning, before you speak to anyone, before you brush your teeth. So if everyone in the family is going to Upasa, you both speak the day before that you're going to Phahla. So you don't wake up in the morning. If you are going to wake up your mother, you are not supposed to talk to them. You can just wake them up, or, but you are not supposed to speak. The first words that are supposed to come out should be from you speaking to your ancestors. So you can't speak, you can't bath, you can't brush your teeth when you go Phahla. And I never saw my grandmother a Phahla inside the house, like endlini. I see a lot of people by Phahla endlini. I've always seen my grandmother doing it outside the yard. And I'm gonna come to the point where there's people who don't have yards. So she would do it outside. There was a special place where we used to Phahla, where I spoke about, and I said I fell and I almost died there. She would Phahla them and put her, it was not a cup that she was using. It was a traditional cup. I will search for it and send a picture when I have found it. Ibizuo Findi Mini. You know, the ones that they were using when they were drinking beer back in the days, like African beer. When you were drinking African beer, it's brownish. It looks like a cup kind of thingy. I don't know what it's called, but I'm gonna remember it in a chivenda. Gori hobo you ineranwanga yo harwa. Inabanwanga yo harwa. Chifimini, this thing, it looks like a cup, but it's shaped like that. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put a picture there so that you know what it is. If I find it, whatever, I'm gonna find it. But and she would use that when she phahlas. The first thing that I said, you don't speak to anyone in the morning. So it's done. You don't speak to anyone when you go to phahla in the morning. When you wake up, you don't brush your teeth, you don't bath, you wear clothes like mfazi. You cannot wear jean, you cannot wear buruku, which is a trouser. You need to wear a skirt or a dress and wear something on top, like maybe a jacket or blazer or something on top. Usually with my grandmother, I never saw her wearing something on her head, right? With other cultures, they wear something on their head as a sign of respect. But with my grandmother, I don't want to lie, I didn't see her wearing anything on her head when she went to phahla. But I know with other cultures that it is a must for you to wear something on your head. You go there barefoot, you are not wearing shoes. If you're a guy, you have a jacket, you have a trouser on, you have that thing that I'm talking about, which you're gonna use from a bucket to drink. You drink the beer, African beer, if you have African beer. If there's no African beer, if they said use water, you use water. If they give you something to use, you use that. My grandmother never used snuff because she said that there are people in her family members that she's speaking about who never smoked. So that will anger them because they've never smoked in their lives, like smoking or smoking snuff or smoking anything. So that will anger them. So she never used that, but she used beer, African beer, or she used water, right? Or she used this other muti to speak to them. That it's not brown because the snuff is brown, but that one has a bit of colors, which I have. I don't know why I didn't take it, but I have it, and you can use that and just put it on the floor and speak to them. Now, the other mistake that people make is where you face when you are speaking to your ancestors. With my grandmother, she always faced Bovaduba. Bovaduba is where the sun rises. That means it's this side, the north, right? You are facing where the sun rises in your house. I don't know where the sun rises in your house, but in the morning, the sun rises, I think, from the north and not from the sunrise. So you have to face the direction of the sunrise, because that's when it's believed that your things are rising. Your prosperity, your success, your finance, your what, everything is rising in the morning with your prayers. Whatever you are going to be saying will be rising and not dying. You only face that side when you are fighting. That's when you face the sunset. You face the sunset when you are fighting, when you want protection, when you are saying, I go back to sender. Basically, go back to sender is sunset. You have to face sunset to say, go back to sender. Whatever problem, stagnation, poverty that I was given, go back to sender. That's when you are facing the sunset. But sunrise in the morning. Okay, am I saying the right things? Yeah. Sunrise, I believe the opposite is sunset, right? Where the sun goes down. I believe it must be sunset. The sunrise, where the sun, in the morning, where you see the sun coming from, that's where you are asking. You are basically saying, Musiduba lichiva. Because you go there early in the morning before the sun comes out. It should be around 5 a.m. Before 6 in the morning, you must be done with Upasa. So it's done between 5 and 5:55, before 6. Anytime before 6 in the morning, from 5 a.m. before 6, you are supposed to then go and do that and speak to your ancestors. When you speak to your ancestors, remember the mistakes that people do. You have to start speaking with your father's side, which is the head. But you're speaking to the ones that are from your father's side, and then you speak to the ones from your mother's side, and you ask them to join together to bring you whatever it is that you want, and for them to have harmony, peace, and love. You are speaking, calling upon the ancestors that have light. There's people who have killed people, people who are angry, people who are witches, people who are what, who are in your lineage who have died. You are not speaking to those. You're speaking to the ones that have light, the ones that have love. So you call upon the ones by light, and the ones that you know, you can call them up by names and ask them to come and ask them to guide and ask them to lead and protect and the ones you don't know, you are only asking for this, both sides, the ones who have light, the ones who have love, the ones who are not sinners and no, you're calling the ones for love and light. Those are the mistakes that people make when they go Ubi Phahla. So I've spoke about what you wear, shoes, dress code. I spoke about the time that you're supposed to go Phahla. If you are going Phahla in the morning, make sure it's before the sun comes out. By the time the sun comes out, it's bringing you luck. It is believed that by the time it comes out at 6 o'clock, when you already have 1, 2, 3. You understand what I mean? You already have 1, 2, 3. So you already have the things that you want. And if you are fighting where the sun sets in the evening, when you are seeing that Ichikori around 6 p.m., you are seeing that it's starting to be dark. That's when you go. That's when you fight. Now, a lot of people, when they do that, they do it at home, inside their houses, and they fight. Mostly they fight with candles, which I'm gonna do a video of candles. But if you don't have, you can do the it's not basically, I don't know if it's called Upasa fighting, but you go there, you kneel or you stand, and you're fighting back for your things that you want, for not just the things that you want, it's for back to sender. You call the things that have blocked you. You call poverty, you call stagnation, you call them by name, and you send back to sender. Send back. You're speaking to the sender. You are sending back to them that when this sun ichiwera, when the sun goes down and it becomes dark, it must be dark on your side. It must be dark where you are. You must receive the poverty you gave me. You must receive the stagnation you gave me. You must receive lack of finance, lack of marriage, lack of what. You take it back. You're like, I don't know who you are. I don't know your name. I don't know your surname. I don't know why you hate me. But receive what you gave me. I refuse it. I take it from me. I release myself from the pains that you've given me, from whatever you call it by name, and you say, I am sending back to whoever sent it. If it is a sangoma, receive it. Whatever you call it, you say it. So there you are not praying, you're not calling anyone, you are not asking, you're not begging, you're not crying, you're sending back. Right? Those who don't have a yard outside, because we're staying in Mahuing, we're staying in the apartment, right? You can find a place in your house where I spoke about an altar, where it is your altar that you have dedicated for such. And then that's where you will pray. Those who can, it is very important that at least once a year, you must go to Siulu. Siulu is an anthill, not far from wherever. You can find an anthill and take the African beer or the water. Don't just take snuff until you understand what your ancestors, whether they want snuff or not. Not all ancestors are for snuff. Mine are not for snuff. My grandmother said no snuff for us, because there are people that she's praying to, she's talking to, they were never smokers. They don't want it. And that will bring me more bad luck, right? Now, these are the mistakes that people make when Phahla, when they speak to their ancestors. Another one that people thought I was going to forget. You cannot sleep with anyone the day before. In fact, it would be more important for you to not sleep with anyone for like 3 days when you are going Phahla. Do not sleep with anyone. Even when they give you things for bathing, like cleansing, because people, this thing, they gave me, nothing is working. When you are done, you want to sleep with your husband, you want to sleep with your girlfriend, boyfriend. You can't sleep with that person until you are done with whatever they have given you. You can't sleep with anyone. You can't touch anyone. You can't have sex until you are done. You can't sleep with anyone. Sorry, I mentioned that name. But you can't do that. You can't sleep with anyone. What is the other thing? Because there's like a lot of things, and I remember them one by one, you know. I'm remembering so many things. My mind is so blocked. But basically, those are the things that I know and have seen my grandmother doing. And if you are going as a group, if you're waking each other up, don't talk. Just find a way of calling them to go there and kneel. There's no standing when we are paslaring. You are kneeling. You are kneeling. You humble yourself. You look down. And then you start speaking. And I told you when you start speaking, who you start speaking to. Sometimes there's confusion because you're like, I don't know the surname. I don't know him. You don't have to say anyone's surname. You don't have to say anyone's anything. You just say, Ndi Millicent. Ndi mwana wa mugede. You know, so I can mention my name and my parents' name and my mom's name if I want to, because if it's the first time that you are paslaring, you need to introduce yourself. But apart any other day, if you have paslared before, there's no need to say all those things. You can even explain the confusion that says, don't know my dad, I don't know this, I don't know that. Please go find my dad's ancestors, whoever's ancestors, so that I can know my surname. My real surname is this and this. My what's name is this and this and this. But I don't know 1, 2, 3, and I don't want to speak to the wrong people. These are the people that raised me. I was raised by a different surname. You are speaking to them wholeheartedly with all your heart. This is what's happening. Show me light. Speak to me in your dreams. Tell me where to go. Guide me. Show me the way. Lead me. Protect me. You know, those are the kind of things that you want. This is the light. This shows that I have but I mean, there's ring light. Because I'm trying to give you guys the best, you know. But basically, I hope you understand. And I'm going to speak about the cleansing, the mistakes that people do when they are cleansing. I mentioned one here. I'm going to mention more about people not sleeping with their partners after that, and they're not following through the whole thing. And I'm going to also do a video about candles. So I hope you're ready. Have a blessed day and follow the things that I said. I didn't speak about Phahla with candles because I'm going to do a video about candles. What is the reason for candles? Why people Phahla with candles, and why other people Phahla with different things, you know. I told you what my grandmother used for Phahla, and I am going to speak about candles in my next video, and I'm going to also speak about the mistakes, because these are the mistakes that we do when we are pahlaring, but I'm going to speak about the problems or the mistakes that people do when they're coming from cleansing, seeing a sangoma, because some of the things are never really explained. Sangomas think you are supposed to know, and you go home and you make so many mistakes because you don't know. Am I facing there? Am I wearing a doek? Am I like, what am I supposed to be doing? How do I talk? Who do I talk to? What? Like, no one explains these things, and I'm here. And if you have any more questions about Upasa, let me know. I can even do another video to explain further. I can also respond to you on the comment and let you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing as you go on your journey of Phahla. May God bless all of you and respond to all of you. Now, here's a question that everyone asks. Who do I Phahla to? Is it my ancestors? Is it God? Who am I speaking to? I never had my grandmother talk to God when she was Phahlaring. It was always about her ancestors. Because I mean, like the video where I spoke that in the same breath you can't speak to God and you can't speak to your ancestors. They are two different people. God is here, their ancestors are here. They were created by God. So Upasa is for your ancestors. When you are done, you can thank God for everything that you have done so that it can go well. Or you can start by praying to God when you are done. then you start this process of speaking to your ancestors. But do not mix and say, God and my ancestors, Klanganan, hey God, my ancestors, hey my ancestors, I want to bagite, God. Don't mix when you are doing this process. Either start with that, when you are done, then you continue with the other. Or you can start with Phahla. When you are done, then you can pray to God and then say amen. You don't have, there's something that my grandmother used to do, and it was this. When she was calling her, you know, it's Tagas in my clan, she would do this and speak her clan. For example, Diba Shabi. So she would call Bashabi. She would do Chirendo Shabashabi, Sereto Shabashabi. When before she speaks, she would speak Chirendo. Hey mumini, muvenda mumini, wagai mini, like all those things that Zulus know. See, now we are other cultures. Hey, but my grandmother would do them, and then when she's done, she would just do this without saying thank you. There's no thank you when you are doing a Phahla. I'm gonna thank you. Yeah, bonga. I've received my car. I've received thank you. My ancestors. I've received. No, you. If you do this, this is a way of saying thank you. I have received. All is well. Lalan gahle. Continue this and this. This is just amen. I hope you understand. Have a blessed day, guys. Bye.